Welcome to the NAHA webinar, brought to you by the National Association for Holistic Aromatherapy. To learn more about NAHA, please visit www.naha.org. Tonight's presentation topic is Exploring Essential Oils from Egypt. This educational webinar is being presented by Raghda A Maksoud. The founder of Ebers Consultancy, Raghda is a certified clinical aromatherapist, an expert with more than 20 years professional international experience within the essential oils, flavors, and fragrance industries. She has served as a strategic sourcing director, as a business development manager, and global business unit head in both Egypt and the United States. Her extensive knowledge and professional background are the foundation for her vibrant consultancy practice in sourcing, business development, startups, medium-sized launches, and go-to-market strategies for business to business and business to consumer, in addition to project management specifically for the essential oils and aromatherapy industries. She has launched 2 brands of aromatherapy essential oils in the United States and is an active participant in key industry organizations, including the Women for Flavors and Fragrance North America, the International Federation for Essential Oils and Aromatic Chemicals, and the National Association for Holistic Aromatherapy, where she also serves as the NAHA International Director for Egypt. To learn more about Raghda, please visit her website at www.ebersconsulting.com. And I'd like to just take a moment and welcome Raghda for being here and talking on this really fascinating topic that she is definitely an expert on, and she's going to be leading a Egyptian aromatherapy tour for NAHA members this coming April. And so we're going to get to hear about that when they come back with lots of pictures and hopefully some video. But for now, we have Raghda here this evening talking on this really fun topic. And she's also going to introduce us to 2 new essential oils, which I know that I'm personally excited about and can't wait to try. So thank you, Raghda, and you can go ahead and get started.
Thank you so much, Kelly, for having me, and thanks for NAHA for giving me this opportunity again. Good evening, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be with you and to talk to you, even if I can't see you, but I can feel all the love and the energy coming from everywhere. Today, we are going to talk about exploring essential oils from Egypt. For those who doesn't know me, I think Kelly gave you enough background about me. The only thing that I need to add is that being an aromatherapist and being a NAHA member and a NAHA director was a life-changing experience for me. I met a lot of beautiful souls, and all of them are very supportive, all of them are very successful, and all of them are role models. So I am blessed for being part of this beautiful community. So today we are going to talk about some famous Egyptian essential oils like basil, neroli, peppermint, sweet marjoram, and the 2 new oils, the cypress and the xanthophyllum. And this, I'll explain the name operculicaria when we go to the slides with the xanthophyllum. We're going to talk about the history and traditional uses, as well as the therapeutic and safety, and some recipes for you. So let's sail along the Nile first and give you some background about Egypt. Egypt is one of the most populous countries in the Middle East, and the latest population is 99 million. It has a median age in Egypt is about 25 years old, which makes it one of the most youthful populations in the world. Egypt is situated in the is in the northeastern corner of Africa, and it has a very strategic location, which is in the heart of and the center of the world. It has an area of 1 million square meters. If you see the map of Egypt, you will find that the bulk of the country is covered by the Sahara or the desert, and 3.5% of the Egyptian land is cultivated, and the rest is Sahara. Lately, this map is changing a bit. A lot of development is being done in a lot of different parts of the country for do like plantations and have more land. So if you've ever been there or will be there, you will see the difference between before and after. So the Nile is the longest river in the world. It's flowing uniquely from the south to the north for more than 500 miles. And it has been one of the most important pillars that the ancient Egyptian civilization has been built on. Ancient Egyptians called their land Hmet, which means the black land, because when the Nile was flowing, especially in the flood time, it has a black sediments with it, which left on both sides of the Nile, and this gives a fertile land. So its mighty and mystic stream was flooding from Africa all along 9 countries until it reached Egypt and then lands on the Mediterranean. If you ever see the Nile, it looks like a lotus flower with a stem and blooming at the end, which has the delta. So this was one of the really fascinating things about the Nile, the image of the Nile from above. The symbolic image also in the mind of the ancient Egyptian was it presents maybe the image of the human brain and the spine. Way back then, the Egyptians saw their land as sacred reflection of heaven on earth, and they think that the Nile was a mirror of the Milky Way. Talking about all of this, the Nile was giving the land its fertility, giving the soil the perfect condition to grow a lot of beautiful plants and herbs and flowers all over the Nile banks. In addition to that, the sun, Egypt is situated in a perfect place where we have the sun all year round. There is aquifers underneath the soil in many of the desert area. So it helps in the development of these new projects. As we go on, we will talk about them. We have the fertile land, and we have the people who are very kind, loving, and passionate about their country and about their agriculture practices. So all of this combined makes beautiful products and beautiful plant material to start with. And in my opinion, the oils coming at the distillation of these plant materials are the silent language of our emotions. It needs no translation where we're using basil or neroli or peppermint. So let's go ahead and try to turn on our body and emotions a little bit and forget about the stress, the work, family, everything, and let's go ahead and talk about some oils. So the first oil we're going to talk about today is the sweet basil, the Ocimum basilicum, and its origin comes from Europe. The harvest time is June to August, and we use the whole part of the plant for distillation. We use steam distillation. The color of the oil will be clear to pale yellow, depending on the crop time and the cut. It has a very sweet, herbal, spicy odor, and the note is top to medium. And basil is grass safe. So some history about basil. It was in the very first beginning, it was cultivated in the Mediterranean region by Arabs. And also it was originated in India, and it was linked to the god Vishnu and his wife Lakshmi. In a lot of history books, it was referring that a lot of women were wearing basil in their hair to attract potential suitors, and I guess that works at that time. And it was also used in Ayurvedic medicine for indigestion, coughs, and skin conditions. Back to ancient Egypt, they were using basil in embalming and preserving in the tombs and the mummies. It was also a symbol of mourning in the Greek culture, and it was mentioned that in some of the Jewish folklore, basil was believed to add strength in the fasting process. And basil is one of the most used herbs in the culinary world, especially in the Italian cuisine with the pesto sauce, and it goes in a lot of Indonesian, Thai, and Vietnamese cuisine as well. In the medicinal uses, some medication are using the basil extract in spasm, loss of appetite, and in indigestion or excess gas. In perfumery, it's also widely used in some shift for green direction perfumes, and in the perfume and the fragrance world, the perfumers are talking about directions, which is the way it smells, like a floral direction, green direction, musky direction. So it's used in perfumery as well. Basil is rich in monoterpenes, in sesquiterpenes, monoterpenes, alcohols, ketones, and it resonates with the central nervous system. And from all of the beautiful chemical components in basil, it can be used in a lot of synergies for a lot of applications. Either it's going to be calming, or it's going to be for anti-inflammatory products, or for balancing. It's a beautiful oil. It's one of my favorite oils when I'm blending. So talking about the therapeutic uses of basil, again, due to its richness in the monoterpenes and in the monoterpenes alcohol, it can be used in any digestive system products that you are blending, in any muscle products, in any expectorants or restorative products you're using for the respiratory system, either it's for cold or for cough. Also, it's very good if we use it in stress relief and calming products when it comes to blending products for the morphological products. It also helps when you have ministerial cramps, and again, it's uplifting, cleaning, and stimulating. This is some pictures from the fields of basil in the oasis, and this is from Fridal, which is the company over there. It's one of the companies we're going to visit in the study tour. As you can see, it's bright green. It's the sand soil surprisingly was very good, and it was very good in drainage, and things are growing there very nicely and sustainable. Here are some recipes you can try. I actually did this recipes when I was taking my clinical, advanced clinical aromatherapy class. And this was, I used them in my case studies. So the feedback that came for me that it was working very good. So I hope you can use it, or you can either use whatever you like. But this is just examples for you for an indigestion massage blend and expectorant diffuser blend. Well, the second oil we're going to talk about is neroli. And again, this is one of the most beautiful oils for me after jasmine in the whole entire world. I love how the name itself, I love saying neroli or citrus aurantium. Neroli is an oil this is the most expensive oil coming out from the orange tree. So we're taking the bitter orange, comes from the peel of the fruit when it's ripe, and then we have the petitgrain oil, comes from the leaves, and the neroli oil is distilled from the flowers of the tree. It's the most prized oil, and it's used since ancient times, and widely used in perfumery, and widely used also in aromatherapy. It's originated in North Africa. The harvest time is between March and April, according to the weather conditions. Part of the plant used are the flowering tops, and we use steam distillation to do this. The color is pale yellow, and it has a very sweet floral and citrusy, and I want to say velvety odor. And it's again grass. It has a grass status. It was believed that it was first cultivated in the Mediterranean region by Arabs, and now it's commercially grown in Morocco, France, Tunisia, and also in Egypt. It was believed that people were using neroli oil to help fight the plague. Ancient Egyptian priests used the oil in the same way we are using incenses now in their practices. And also it was believed that the oil is named after an Italian princess called Nirola in the 17th century, who made neroli very fashionable as a fragrance by using the oil as a perfume to put on her clothes and during her bath. Neroli is Egypt produces 15% of the world production of the neroli. The production over there is around 1 to 2 metric tons per year. And now there is over 200 fidans that are cultivated with neroli in Egypt. Some of the culinary uses, it's used in a lot of fruit flavored juices. And there was a rumor that it was used in the formula of the Coca-Cola as well. In France and North Africa, it's widely used in baking and confectionery products. So if you've been to Morocco or Tunisia or even to France, you will be eating scones or macaroons or cookies, and you will really taste the neroli in it. Some people are also in these countries using the neroli hydrosol as a flavoring agent to their drinking water. And one of the some of the very famous perfumes that are using neroli in their formulas are Eau Sauvage, Angel, and Dior's Mugler. The neroli oil is rich in aldehydes, monoterpenes, sesquiterpenes, and esters. It has a low risk as a dermal sensitizer, so we have to be very careful when we're using it. So some of the therapeutic uses that we can use neroli oil in blending is for the cramps, for the nervous system, and for the skin, which is a great rejuvenating oil, and it reduces irritation. And this is one of the best that I like to use. It's pretty expensive, so it's been used in very, very small amounts in the formula or in the synergy. And this is, again, some pictures from the field in Tanta, which is the place another company called the Shabrawi is having their farms of neroli. And you can see also on the right-hand side, a lady picking jasmine in the morning. So they grow jasmine and neroli over there in both, in the same area. Again, some recipes for a skin massage blend and an inhaler. I like both of them personally, and I hope that you can also try them and let me know later what do you think about the synergy. The next oil we're going to talk about is the oregano. Marjorana, which is the sweet marjoram. It's originated in Egypt and Eastern European countries. There is 3 harvest times. Each one has a different color for the leaves. So marsh, it has a silver color, a little silvery. In July, it's bright green. In November, it's dark green. The part of the plant used is the flowering tops, and it's also steam distilled. It has a pale yellow color. The odor is warm and spicy, and it is grass regulated as well. They believe that they found marjoram in the mummy garlands in ancient Egyptian tombs. And in some Coptic medicines, they were a prescription for sick ear using the worm herb medicine for marjoram. And drinking marjoram tea they thought it's cure common cold and soothes the nerves. And if you have any ministerial pains, it takes them away. They also believed in that if you rub the herb on the skin, it will ease the rheumatism pain and some headaches. I didn't try this yet, but I would love to. In the Greek mythology, it was believed that the marjoram was cultivated by the Greek goddess Aphrodite, and it has the name the Joy of the Mountains. The herb is still added to the love potions and placed under women's pillow to ensure a happy marriage. So it's a happy oil, as we can say. In culinary uses, the spice blend is used in a lot of seasonings for meat, poultry, fish, pickles, tomato sauce, salad dressing, and a lot of other sauces. In the European herbal medicine, they believe that marjoram is used for the treatment of the respiratory conditions, either it's bronchitis or gastrointestinal problems. And I got the tea and tincture from some researchers, so you can use teaspoons of dried leaves in 1 cup of boiling water 3 times a day, or a tincture with half teaspoon taking orally 3 times a day. And we're talking about the herb here, not the oil. And the oil has a high content of carvacrol and thymol, which helps fight bacteria as well. Again, the oil contains monoterpenes, sesquiterpenes, alcohols, oxides, and it also resonates with the central nervous system. It's not toxic, not irritant, and not sensitizing. It's a safe oil, but we have also to be very cautious when using any oil, regardless it's safe or not, by not using it directly on our skin, and do the skin patch first and see how it works. Everyone is different. Some of the therapeutic uses that we can use is for the nervous system, for stress or migraines or for insomnia, and also for anxiety and grief. This is a field in Tanta. It's the same city that we saw the Neroli fields a little bit, and this is from the company Fakhri & Co. And you can see the beautiful rose centifolia, and our friend on the left-hand side of the picture is looking to the grass or the trees. I think it's a beautiful picture. Some recipes here are for a body butter for calming, and another one for menopause. And then I have two other recipes, one for joint and muscle pain and one for sleep, like improving sleep. Marjoram, essential oil in Egypt, I believe it's around the capacity, the distillation production capacity is around 12 metric ton per year. It also, I have a little note about that people who has asthma, it's not recommended to use marjoram. So maybe we need just to take a little bit care here. The next oil is peppermint, Mentha piperita, and the origin is North Africa and Europe. Harvest time is April to October. Part of the plant used are the leaves. It's also steam distilled, pale yellow in color, and the odor is minty, fresh, and strong, and it's grass regulated. There is more than 20 species of mint, and they are rich in alcohols, ketones, and they also parts of the flower bouquet is found in tombs in the late dynasty in ancient Egypt. They believe that it treats fever doing a decoction of mint and giving it to the patient before the attack, and all of this we're talking about the herb. In the Icelandic pharmacopoeias, also they believe it was mentioned that it's an herbal remedy, and it gained popularity over the next 2 centuries. Monks in the Middle Ages were known to use peppermint as a tooth polisher, and during the same period, cheesemakers learned that the strong smell of peppermint would keep rats and mice away out of their storeroom, so they were using the bouquet to get the rats away. It's used in teas, beverages, jellies, ice cream, spice blends, everything. Some medicinal uses in the European herbal medicine, it's used for a pain relief. It's used for calming itches as a cough suppressant, and there is cough drops that we see in the market using peppermint, and also it's used in some famous ointments like Bengay and Vicks Vapora because of the menthol, which is the main component in peppermint. They are using it in these products. Peppermint is rich in monoterpenes, sesquiterpenes, monoterpenes, alcohols, ketones, oxides, and also to the central nervous system. And oil can be skin irritant, and also we need to use it very carefully with young children. Pregnant and breastfeeding mothers should minimize using peppermint. It can be used for the digestive problems, or for common cold and sinusitis, and also for uplifting, clearing, and stimulating. This is another picture from Egypt, and it's from Hashem Brothers, and it's in a region called Kalibeya in Egypt. And you can see how they have beautiful smiles, and either they're doing distillation or they're doing picking. Here are some recipes: a chest drop and a muscle salve, using peppermint, a bug away mist spray, and a stress inhaler as well. Now, the time for the 2 new oils, and I'm very excited about that, because that was a kind of experiment from one of the distillers in Egypt, which is the one that they own, the Eco Farm Fridal, and they have a lot of varieties of plants and of shrubs and trees, and they thought about distilling one of those, 2 actually, of the plants growing there. And we've been talking about this, and having like distillation, sending it to a laboratory for analysis, and then every time I was asking them about the oil, they were saying it's called operculicaria, and it was really a nice name to spell. It's a hard to say, but it's just kind of having very nice, sound. And there was no botanical name, so I insisted that I need the botanical name, otherwise I'm not going to speak about the oil. Then they reached out to the Ministry of Agriculture, and it gives them that the botanical name is Vancocilium odorum, and so this is why we have the asterisk here, because everybody over there is naming this tree, shrub, the operculicaria, which is the commercial name and has nothing to do with the botanical name. The oil harvest time is in winter, and they use the whole plant when doing the distillation. So it's the leaves, the twigs, and it has a very pale yellow color. The odor is amazing. It's very sweet, very floral, very herbal, and very citrusy at the same time. So it's kind of, it's just like when you smell the oil, you have all of these notes coming at the same time to you. And everyone who smells the oils, it brings different memories to them. It brings different emotions. So for me, it's a kind of perfume. Let's see, the history. It's native to China, Japan, and Korea. It's an evergreen shrub with medium growth rate. The leaves and fruits in this part of the world, in the Far East, can be used as spices for some species of this tree. They are lemon peppery, and they grow well in winter. This is the chemical composition of the operculicaria, and as you can see, it has a very high content of beta-philandrine, which is a monoterpene, and also a high content of limonene and methylcinnamate. So it's very rich in monoterpene and monoterpene alcohols. So we have no safety like researches or things that we can go back to, like the references. So in order to be safe, it can be a possible skin sensitizer. We need to do a patch test first and maximum use up to 2% dosage in a topical blend. Also, please make sure that young children, pregnant and breastfeeding mothers should minimize use it, because we don't know if there is any counter reactions from the chemical composition. It seems good, but we have to be careful. So as it's rich in monoterpenes, it can be an antimicrobial. We can use it for balancing, as an antibacterial and as an analgesic in some of the blends. We can use it for muscle cramps as an expectorant, and for stress, and for uplifting, clearing, and stimulating. These are two recipes that I made, and one is for a detox and one for a stomach ache, where I used the odorum with the red mandarin, laurel leaf, and myrrh. And I rub them on the feet and abdomen. The other one is with juniper berries and with sweet fennel. And actually, I blend them in argan oil and apply them topically in the abdomen and around the belly button area. The next one is actually the cypress. It's the Cupressus macrocarpa, and the origin is Mexico. Harvest time is winter. They use the whole plant in the steam distillation, and it has a very strong piney and fresh note to it. There is no regulatory grass. It's not grass regulated. And they said that the macrocarpa trees may be up to 2,000 years old, and they have actually, in some botanists, said that there is a physical evidence that the trees are 280. There is a tree that is 284 years old. Also, it's native to southwestern USA, and it's grown in California and also in western Mexico. They have some common sites in New Zealand, and over there it grows alongside the home and the farm's buildings. This is the chemical composition, and for the cypress, again, it's high in alpha-cygene as a monoterpene, in limonene, paracymene, and sabinine. So it's going to be useful in the respiratory products as an expectorant. Again, please, as this is a new oil, we need to be safe and we need to use it very cautiously. It can be a possible skin sensitizer as well, and also we need to do patch tests first, and 2% dosage in a topical blend. So I'm very excited about those two oils, because it was a kind of experience to try to distill some oils that we never, they never thought about it, and see how it will work and what will be the chemical composition of it. it started in a very small scale because no one knows what will be the outcome of the trials or the experiments. And now we have the oils, and they smell beautiful. And you'll find them also on my website after we finish the webinar. So another 2 recipes, one for the heart chakra and one for weight loss support, where I used for the heart chakra the jasmine, red mandarin, juniper berry with the cypress. And on the other one for the weight loss, I used red mandarin, peppermint, ginger, and cypress. So I hope that the webinar was light and useful for everyone. And again, I'm very grateful and I'm very happy to meet all of you again. And thank you for your time. And if we have any questions, please, Kelly, you can start having the Q&A.
Right. Oh,
Mhm.
good. You're going to tell them about the references. Great.
Yes, there is the references in the slides. So that's the references where I get most of the information from. And yes, that's it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for giving this
Thank you.
presentation and introducing us to these 2 new oils. I know that I appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody else does. So thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.